Hi everyone, welcome to this class. I'm Dami of 𝐓𝐻𝐇. Today we're learning how to make this beautiful gathers gown with a Basque shape A-line. So please stick to the end of the tutorial. For a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. If you're joining us for the first time, don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get notified anytime we have a new tutorial. And also, if you'd like to join my WhatsApp group where we discuss designs, and if you also want to request for any design of your choice, the link will be in the description box. So let's get into today's work. Okay, now I've drawn out the outline. We need to draft our gathers gown with Basque shape. So this is the outline now: the shoulder line, the chest line, the bust points, under bust, the waist, and this is the hip line, and the remaining will be for the length of the gown. So the under bust, the bust line, and the chest line. So we'll go ahead and impute our measurements starting from the back. The back is 18 divided by 2. We have 8 inches. So we come to the chest line also and mark the 8 inches. Straight to the chest line. Then you mark out 1 inch for the shoulder slope and 3 inches for the basic neckline. Connect it together like this. So our bust divided by 4, we get 9.25. So I have 9.25 here. So I'm going to take it down to the waist. .25. My waist divided by 4 is 7.75. So we have this here. Then I'm going to use the SS here for the dart. So draw out our nipple to nipple measurement. For this person is 6.5 divided by 2, 3.25. We'll take it straight to the M line, to the hip line. And connect the lines together. So what I have here is 1.5. I'm going to distribute it on both sides like this. So this is going to be our dart, and it's going to be stopping ½ inch before the bust point. And the bust dart for this is going to be 1.5, which is also going to stop ½ inch before the bust point. Mark it out like this. So whatever we have for the dart here is what will be taken down to the hip line. Oh, so for the dart now, whatever we have here, so I will stop. My dart is going to be stopping 2.5 inches before the hip line. I'll just have it here like this, and my hip divided by 4 is 10.5. So I'll connect it to the waistline. So whatever I have on the hip line is what I'm going to take to the hem. Now this pattern I'm using is not long enough for the length. The length of the gown I'm working with is 39 and this is 36 inches. So I'm going to be adding to the length when I'm cutting on the fabric. So we have this now. So we'll go ahead to draw our armhole. Divided by 2, step down by 1. Now you go in for the front by 1 inch. Connect the armholes together. So now we are going to draw out the Basque shape we have on the hip line. So the shape is not starting exactly on the hip line. So from the hip line now, we're going to be stepping up by 2 inches. Now it is not a very it's not very sharp. So from the hip line up, we're going to step up by 2 inches. Then we come to the center front here, we step down by 2 inches from the hip line. So on this side, on the hip side, on the side we step up, we go up by 2 inches, and on the center front side we go down from the hip line by 2 inches. Then we connect it together like this. So this is what is going to give us the Basque shape. So it's a little bit curvy, it's not the sharp one. So whatever we have here now, we are going to measure it. The remaining measurements we have here, we are going to be using it for our gathers. So for my gown now, I said my gown is 39 inches and I have 36 inches for this pattern. So this is 12 inches. I'm going to be adding the 3 inches, so making 15 inches. So when I'm cutting out my gathers will be 15 inches long. So this is what I will use for the gathers or the down part. So with this now, you can go ahead to cut it out. So your pattern, your dart now, is either you sew it in or you just cut it through. So I prefer to just cut it through. So I'll just make it a princess dart like this. So I'll be able to cut through. So go ahead to cut out. So pardon me, for the neckline, we've not drawn out the neckline. So for the neckline of the front, I'm going to be making my front neckline to be 4 inches wide like this. Then I'll go down by another 4.5 inches for the depth of the neck. So we have the neck like this. So this is the neckline. Also, don't forget to always close your bust darts like this. So this is the front. Let's go ahead and draft the back bodice. Okay, so for the back bodice now, for the back bodice, I've drawn out the outline we'll be using. So this is the bust point, the waist, and the hip measurement. So also, we are going to be cutting out our sway back in order for our zip to be able to relax firmly on the back. So don't forget, when you are making your back bodies, always mark out your sway back. So this is going to help your zip to relax very well. Then you blend it to the hip line like this. So it's from this sway back line that you are going to start imputing your measurement. So our back, once again, is our front bust is 9.25. You mark it out. The waist is 7.75. So whatever the excess you have is what you are going to be using as that. So we have this, and also my hip is 10.5. So I'll mark out the 10.5 for the hip measurement. So now my nipple to nipple divided by 2, I will mark it out. Now the drafting of the front and the back, they are all the same thing. The only difference is the zipper that we have at the back. So that's the only difference we have for the back bodies. So you mark out your hip line. So for the darts here, I have 1.25. I'll distribute it on both sides like this, and it's also going to stop 2.5 inches before the hip line and ½ inch before the bust point. So we have this, then also the armhole. Divided by 2, step down by 1. For the back, you are going by 0.5. Okay, so now let's draw out our back shape. From the front, for the front, we also step up by 2.5 on the hip line, and on the center front, we step down by 2 inches. Sorry, 2 inches. So we do the same thing we did for the front. You do it also for the back to get our Basque shape. Then you mark it out like this. So for the back neck, for this particular one, is a square shape for the neckline. So I'm going to be making the same depth wideness we use for the front, 4 inches. Then for the depth, I'm going to go down by 6.5. So I'll mark the 4 inches like this also to get a perfect square neck. Okay, so this is what the neckline for the back is going to look like, and also the darts, I will make it to be a princess dart for the back also. So we have this now. We can go ahead to cut out the pattern. So charge the lamp cage, bikini cage. So this is the center back and also the side back. So this is what the back bodice is going to be looking like, and we have our front bodice like this. So we are going to be doing the sewing. So I'm going to post another tutorial for the sewing of this particular dress. So thank you for joining, and see you in the next class.